Imagine you work for Donald Trump and his administration, and you get caught by Politico in what you thought was a private online group chat with people saying things like, I love her, and saying it's a mistake to, quote, expect the Jew to be honest, end quote, along with multiple racist phrases, as well as talking about wanting to see people, quote, going to the...
Everyone that votes no is going into a chamber. Great, I love Zitler. You're giving nationals as much credit and expecting the Jews to be honest. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. I'm ready to watch people. Now, are you going to do whatever it takes? Boom, they're dead. It was grape. This girl is fully R-word. Kick the B. And everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to go in the chamber.
Welcome back to the channel, my people. How are you all doing? I really do hope and pray that from wherever you all are watching this from, you are doing all right, staying safe. Hopefully God has protected you and preserved you very well. I always want to appreciate you guys for supporting me on here, so thank you so much. And my members, you guys do me amazing. Thank you so very much as well. Now, Politico released a leaked chat between young Republican leaders. And of course, what they were talking about maybe might not shock you or might shock you. Me? I don't think I have the backbone. Because every time I think I know how dark some people are, you know who I'm talking about, I get shocked over and over again. Mind you, these are people that are in positions of power. And this is what they are talking about. So much as they were like, if the chats get leaked, they will be cooked. You who sit under the belly of the beast, you're cooked if you have such people in positions of power. I bring you reactions to this. Everything unfiltered, what black people think, some white people, and some governors. I think we have to look at this. We'll come back and talk about it because I really don't think I have so much to say about this. We'll come back and talk about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more.
Everyone that votes no is going into a chamber. Great, I love Zitler. You're giving nationals as much credit and expecting the Jews to be honest. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. I'm ready to watch people. Now, are you going to do whatever it takes? Boom, they're dead. It was grape. This girl is fully R-word. Kick the B. And everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to go in the chamber. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked, for real, for real. I'm a conservative black person, independent, no political party affiliation. And what I just read to you was a group of texts that were leaked onto Politico from a group of Turning Point young Republicans. Talking about the black people, the Jewish people, pretty much anybody they could have talked about as if they were the Aryan Brotherhood themselves. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because those people have parents. And whoever their parents are taught them exactly those phrases and that hate. So stay vigilant and look alive, please. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain. Well, that's the rhetoric of the Republican Party that is in charge right now. And no, that's not all conservatives' party. Just FYI, just in case you were confused, I am the black person that defends the Jewish people in this country. I am the black woman that lets them know what the 3Ks and the Aryan Brotherhood did to the Catholics, the Jewish, the black people, and the Irish during the 1930s. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, you will not be causing a divide in between us. The minorities are going to come together on this, and you have forced our hand. And that is okay, because while you hide in private, we show our face in public. We don't need a group chat. We'll just talk to you. Boy, do I love being conservative. I tell you something about the nuclear family of home values of the South you just can't let go. Don't you ever forget. Not only did we win that war, we still doing better than your ancestors in this country. Sliha. To the black community, I want you to know something very clear. Their parents are police officers. In Wilmington, North Carolina, a couple of years ago, our police officers were caught on radio, currently saying that they were going to unalive all the that they wanted to unalive us, burn us, and put us to the stake. Those police officers had their recordings currently released while they were off duty, and they got in trouble and put on leave. So, one thing for sure and two things for certain, Donald Trump definitely resurrected the time period of the Civil War. It's about time for you to get ready and start waiting on something to happen. Let's get it. Join Patreon to make sure you're updated on all your news and everything else in between, and to prep, no matter what tier. Bye.
Imagine you work for Donald Trump and his administration, and you get caught by Politico in what you thought was a private online group chat with people saying things like, I love him, and saying it's a mistake to, quote, expect the Jew to be honest, end quote, along with multiple racist phrases, as well as talking about wanting to see people, quote, going to the gas chamber, end quote, which provokes the reply, quote, I'm ready to watch people now. Imagine what would happen to someone working in the Trump administration who's in group chats like that. What would you do if you were that Republican guy and Politico called you before publishing their investigative report about the I Love chat group that you're in? What would you say to Politico? He declined to comment, and he still has his job in the Trump administration. The Politico article came out today at 1:15 p.m. and Donald Trump has taken no action against the guy working for him who's in the I Love chat. Not one Republican has said one word yet objecting to a group of young Republicans in a group chat saying, I love. No Republican has a problem with that, not one. Politico published their report today under the headline, I Love Leaked Messages Expose Young Republicans' Racist Chat. Politico reports leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people and mused about putting their political opponents in gas. They talked about their enemies and driving them to side and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery. The exchange is part of a trove of Telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. The group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's child sex crimes. Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files, Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans, wrote in one instance. At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel within the U.S. Small Business Administration. Bartels did not have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback against the offensive rhetoric in it either. He declined to comment. And tonight, Michael Bartels still has his job working for Donald Trump and working for J.D. Vance because participating in an I Love Her group chat is apparently not a reason for Donald Trump to fire you. Donald Trump is eagerly trying to fire federal workers these days, not one of whom has said I love. Elon Musk and Donald Trump this year have fired thousands of federal workers, but they're keeping the guy in the I Love chat. They don't want to lose him. Michael Bartels. Michael Bartels declined to comment to Politico after he got caught in the I Love chat at the same time that Donald Trump falsely claims to be trying to purify the universities of America by cleansing any trace of anti-Semitism in the student body of those institutions or the faculty. And they have never found an I Love group chat at any one of those universities. Donald Trump has never found anything like that Donald Trump has never found anything like the poison that someone in his own administration is trafficking in. After Politico's stunning expose of the virulent racism and anti-Semitism among the leaders of young Republicans, old Republican Donald Trump was not angry at any one of them. He wasn't angry at the I love guy. He wasn't angry at the guy who said the thing about the watermelon people. He wasn't angry at the guy who said, I'm ready to watch people now in gathers. But the old Republican Donald Trump was very angry at the front-running candidate for mayor of New York City who has never said, I love Hitler, who has never said anything like the vicious poison that so delights the leaders of young Republicans. Donald Trump falsely accused the front-running candidate for mayor of New York City today of being a communist.
He's a communist. He's not a socialist, by the way. There's a big difference. He's a communist. He's down and dirty. He's a communist.
Which should have provoked the question, Mr. President, what is a communist? Donald Trump obviously has no idea because he also said, these are his words, quote, I mean, communist policies, which is proven for thousands of years doesn't work, you know? Those are his words. The question he will never be asked by the almost entirely compliant White House press corps is, who invented communism thousands of years ago, according to you? Communism is just a generation or two older than Donald Trump. But he obviously doesn't know that. He just knows that communists in American political usage is a very bad word. It's the worst thing you can be politically in the United States, historically. And so that's why Donald Trump throws it around, like the word tariff. He has no idea what it means. And so Donald Trump spent the day angry at all sorts of people, as he does every day, but not even slightly bothered by Michael Bartels, the guy who works for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and was caught in the I Love Her group chat. George Stephanopoulos has never said, I love Hitler. But Donald Trump is very angry at George.
I don't take questions from ABC Fake News. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC Fake News. Brian, go ahead.
So that's Donald Trump drawing attention once again to the persistence of George Stephanopoulos on Sunday in trying to get the Vice President of the United States to answer a very simple question. Did Donald Trump's so-called border czar, Tom Homan, take $50,000 in cash in a paper bag from undercover FBI agents who recorded a secret video of Tom Homan taking that money last year? Under George Stephanopoulos' relentless questioning about the $50,000 in cash, the vice president was forced to finally admit he doesn't know if Donald Trump's border czar accepted the $50,000.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question.
While you were just listening to the vice president, I was just handed breaking news from Kansas. On the Kansas Reflector. On Tuesday, the chairman of the Kansas Republican Party said the Politico article disclosing the commentary prompted immediate deactivation of the Kansas Young Republican Organization. So there's one Republican. There's one Republican in America, the chair of the Kansas Republican Party, who said, we can't tolerate this. We absolutely can't tolerate this. But nothing from Donald Trump, absolute silence from Donald Trump, and absolute silence from Vice President Vance about young Republicans in an I Love Her group chat.
So, this is insane, the biggest story in politics today, but it's also entirely expected if you've been paying attention to the Republican Party since Donald Trump got into office. Leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked. And then it got leaked. They referred to black people as this and mused about putting their political opponents in chambers. They talked about doing this to their enemies and driving them to do that. I can't say some of these things because of social media, but I am dedicated to not letting these people get away with it. So I'm going to show you their texts and then we're going to put a face to some of them. Right here, everyone that votes no is going to the chamber, said PG. And that person is this guy, Peter Gunta. He was referencing a vote for him to take over this massive Republican organization, and he lost, by the way, and said anybody that votes no is going to be punished. And then BW says, when do we start bullying, dude? That guy is Bobby Walker, who has other really disgusting texts. And he says, if they vote for us, why would they be gassed? Then AK says, when do we bring that side out? That right there is Ann K. Katie. This person. And it actually gets worse. JM says, can we fix the showers don't fit the blank aesthetic? That guy is Joe Maligno. And there he is right there. Vice President, Staten Island Young Republican Club. And notice all the reactions to the text messages as well. They line up with names, of course. And then Ann K. Katie also said, I'm ready to watch people, you know. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used these words and variations of racial slurs more than a dozen times in the chat. This is William Hendricks. You know, I'm really starting to see a theme with all these people. They all just look kind of similar, don't they? And the final one is this guy named Alex Dwyer saying, he did say my delegates I bring will vote for the most right-wing person. And then that Peter Gunta loser said, great, I love blank. And notice how Alex Dwyer put a smiley face on that text. He loved it. This is Alex Dwyer, by the way. I highly recommend you go read that Politico article because there's far more than I can fit into this one video, but it is truly appalling. This is the kind of rhetoric, the kind of behavior that Donald Trump has inspired. All those people have sworn allegiance to Donald Trump. It's not by accident.
Save the apologies. The Board of Directors for the Young Republican National Federation issued a statement today saying we are appalled by the vile and inexcusable language revealed in the Politico article published today. If you don't know what they're talking about the exclusive new reporting from Politico today, where leaked messages exposed the Young Republicans' racist chat, where they actually also said they love. In this chat, they also referred to black people as monkey and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in chambers. They even talked about their enemies and driving them to side and applauding Republicans who they believe support slavery. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, who by the way looks like this, used both variations of the N-word more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans, who no joke, fucking looks like this, referred to as epic when they were talking about the Spanish coming to colonize the indigenous populations. They said the Spanish came to America and had a single woman. One guy said sex. He said epic. Peter Gunta, who at the time was the chair of the same organization, and yeah, but it named some other faces, was talking about an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation. And he said everyone that votes no is going to the gas. PG, Peter Gunta. We only want the true believers. Can we fix the showers? Gas don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people now. We gotta pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower and relax. Boom, they're dead. And it makes sense that they like the idea of gas because one guy said, he did say, my delegates that I will bring will vote for the most right-wing person. And then Peter Gunta said, great, I love her. The bottom line is this, fuck the gaslighting and fake apologies. They're not sorry that they said it. They're sorry that it will cost them their future careers. This is exactly how they talk, think, and feel when the cameras are fucking off.
Those leaked texts are not surprising. Not surprising in the least. They're confirmation. Confirmation of what black folk have been telling y'all for decades. Racism never died. It never went away. It just learned to code switch in khaki and call it conservative values. And every generation of young Republicans think they're being edgy by saying the quiet part out loud. When what they're really doing is just dusting off Granddaddy Klan members' playbook and adding emojis. Like, this is not new and it's not surprising and it's not edgy. And it does not make them different nor special. So no, black folk ain't surprised. This is not a shock because we live under the consequences of those group chats in real life, in real time. And we've been living under those consequences for centuries. And we've been trying to warn y'all and tell y'all about it. And we've been disregarded, minimized, demonized, silenced. And honestly, the pipeline from locker room talk to legislation is as old as America itself. They laugh in private, they legislate in public. This is how it's always been. Then you got the media acting all shocked and surprised and stunned. How could they say those things? While we're just sitting here like, yeah, just another Tuesday or Thursday, whatever day this is. This is not new. Y'all just ain't want to see it. We been new. Acting like this is some damn glitch in the system. Baby, this is the system. Hello.
Politico reported on a group chat of a bunch of young Republicans. I'm wondering your thoughts on that, and does this reflect, is it just some bad young apples in this chat, or do you think that there's a toxicity around the entire party?
Some bad apples. These are the future of the Republican Party. This was so vile. It is hard to find the words to put into context that these are people who are part of a political party, one of two major political parties, and they believe in gas chambers and discrimination based on the color of people's skins. These are racist, disgusting remarks. And I would say this. We have a leader from the Republican Party in this state the highest ranking individual, who in the backdrop of all this calls our candidate for mayor, one of our candidates for mayor, a jihadist and a terrorist, and then somehow says, oh, what they said, these young Republicans, was wrong. Like, look at what you say yourself. Look at your inflammatory words. And maybe they have an effect on these young people, many of whom you support and have supported you. And you ought to just do a little re-examination of how far this has gone, where this is normalized enough that thousands of texts are uncovered. This is not one person saying they love her. This is a whole lot of people saying things that are so disgusting and so abhorrent that everybody from the president on down should condemn them. And there's got to be consequences. Kick them out of the party. Take away their official roles. Stop using them as campaign advisors. There needs to be consequences. This bullshit has to stop.
Sorry about that, you guys. I know that was a very long video, but it was well worth it because now we know what the Republican Party is trying to hide when it comes down to these young Republicans. Here's a list of the current ones that ended up getting busted with those 2,900 leaked text messages. There's more people coming out before their information gets released, trying to get ahead of the story. There's more people. But as of right now, here's the list of the individuals and the roles that they had with the young Republican Party. Have fun with that one.
So you've never said anything bad in a group chat? I mean, I've never said, let's remodel the showers because the gas chains don't really fit the aesthetic. Typical liberal worried about a group chat with people that aren't even in power. God, those are just kids being kids. They're joking, okay? Why don't you worry about real things like the Democrats having the government shut down? Oh my God, not this. TSA employees are going without being paid. The airports are down. People are, the economy's being affected all because the Democrats. Hold up, the Republicans run all three branches of government right now. They could do something if they wanted to, but it fits their twisted narrative. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene said so, and I agreed with Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is a different topic. No, she agreed with me. Anyway, let's go back to what you were talking about. Let's go back to nothing. It's all your fault. You liberals just want to run the world. Exactly why you having that no kings? Talk about, you mean the I Hate America march? Hey, real quick, what happened to don't tread on me or I want smaller government? I don't want the government in my stuff, especially when it's woke. So cope harder and stay out of people's group chats, but not their email servers, especially Hillary's. Isn't that Hunter Biden? Crazy.
Parents, please check what your kids are seeing and posting online and in private chats. Political just released an article showcasing a private chat between young Republican club leaders, and the content is extremely disturbing. The leaked messages include racist, anti-Semitic, and misogynistic language. This just goes to show how extreme ideas and hateful speech is being normalized behind closed doors and in groups that are supposed to be social groups, some even Christian groups. Check in with your kids regularly. Ask them what groups, chats, and platforms they're on. Talk about content openly and show them this article. And the most important thing, we need to start modeling accountability.
Let me ask you something. How the hell did we get here? Because if you've read what Politico just uncovered, you know that some of these so-called young Republicans weren't talking about policy. They were talking about grape being epic, about gas chambers, about slavery jokes, about Jews and black people, like it was some kind of twisted group chat from 1939. If you're new here, my name's Alex Cardozo. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, and we're about to talk about how this kind of disgusting behavior isn't just tolerated anymore. It's normalized by the very people running this country. Please follow, like, share, and hit that comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Politico just dropped almost 36 pages of leaked Telegram messages from young Republican leaders from Kansas, Vermont, New York, Arizona, and it's honestly one of the most vile things I probably have read. We're talking about thousands of messages, racist slurs, anti-Semitic jokes, and I'll be posting some of them on here as we speak. People literally writing things like 1488, white supremacist code for Hail Hitler, guy describing grape as epic, someone else joking about it, another mocking black people with watermelon and Kool-Aid comments, and yet another mocking Indian people's hygiene while his wife tossed in expecting the Jew to be honest. Now, these aren't random trolls. These are leaders, people sitting in state chapters of a national organization tied to the Republican Party. And here's what really ticks me off. They're only sorry now because they got caught, not because they believe it's wrong, not because they finally realized the weight of what they said, but because it got out there, because people saw who they really are. And you know what? There's thousands of people who speak like this every single day, both online and in real life, who now feel safe doing it. And I'll tell you why. Because this entire Trump-era GOP has made it normal. They laugh it off. They call it free speech. They say, oh, people are too sensitive. No, this isn't too sensitive. This is dehumanizing. This is the same toxic mindset that history taught us leads to violence and hate-fueled power. And you can't separate Trump from it. He is the culture that made this possible. When the top guy jokes about migrants poisoning the blood, when his administration turns ICE into a weapon, when he invites extremists to dinner, this is what trickles down. This is the next generation of Republican leadership. And it's really terrifying. So here's what I want to ask you, and I want you to think about this before you answer. Is this how the next generation of Republican leaders talks when they think no one is watching? What do you think they'll do when they're the ones writing laws? Do you still believe this is just jokes? Or are we looking at the early stages of something even darker? Something this country swore we never repeat?
Social media is lit, I guess, tonight with these Republicans getting busted for text messages or a text message chain. And I'm like, what is this all about? Like, why put this out now? But it may have been investigative journalism, nonetheless. Thousands of leaked messages show leaders of young Republican groups joking about gas chambers, slavery, and grape in private Telegram chat. Side rising GOP leaders' racist chants obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months. I mean, who's surprised? These are the people who was talking shit. A whole bunch of motherfuckers who ain't getting laid. Look, as you see here, these are some of the text messages in the background here. I mean, now that's a fat bastard. Living mode text messages that they put out. I ain't surprised not one bit. This is why I have always been the person that say, I'm gonna start talking about you first. You're gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna talk about you worse than this. Way worse. I wish I could have been on this chain. The way I would have talked about these motherfuckers on their text messages, I would have talked about Peter, Bobby, Annie, William, Samuels, and Rachel's big back, the fat, no limit neck, big cush out head, stanky ass fat bastard. Would have talked about these motherfuckers so bad, they would have lost 40 pounds on sight. They would have threw the motherfucking phones across the room. I would have started with this big bastard first. Look, this motherfucker can't even fold his arms on his lap. Lord have mercy. I just know he got a ring around the collar. Now, how you got wide childbearing hips talking shit about black people? These motherfuckers. There's Mike Johnson. I know these people stink. They stink. And of course, like clockwork, the young Republicans released a Twitter statement, or released a statement on Twitter, online or whatever, saying they were appalled by the vile and inexcusable language revealed in the Political article published today, yada, 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 or in the words of Charlie Brown mama, wah, 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 wah. Then they go on to say that those involved must immediately resign, as if they gonna stop doing this fuck shit. Seriously. From the looks of it, everybody be at the buffet more than anything else.
I wonder how you can be coherently evil and wake up every day, and wear a smile on your face. And to be honest, most of these people are the most innocent looking people. But to make matters worse, I think that shook me to the core. These are leaders. Now Project 2025 makes a lot of sense. A lot of leaked messages from Twitter, from the far right, talking about taking black people back to slavery. A lot of policies, segregation being brought back, and it is now legal. Those things make a lot of sense, but I can't help it. I don't think I have the spine. That's why I have so much respect and love and, sympathy and so much grace for black people that live under the belly of the beast. Because watching this unfold every day, waking up every day and knowing that you have a government, or let's say you are under a demonic covering and a demonic influence that is disguised as leadership, and you have to bear and carry yourself with so much grace and so much restraint to not react bad, because if you do, then you're going to be labeled as the enemy of the state. I have so much respect for you guys. And indeed, the government and the leaders in government, specifically the Republican Party, you saw that J.D. Vance refused to condemn that. And DT, of course, we know he's not going to say anything about that. So I think it is very evident that the enemy is laying his plan in broad daylight and plain sight. There's no more hiding. We are indeed in the most dark days of our lives, but you, those of you that live in the West, especially in America, Black people in America, you live on the source and you have to go through this every day. I am super out of words. Hey, you know, I think about 6 months ago, probably 7, 8 months ago, I brought you messages, people reacting to messages of them, people that were like, they can't wait, especially when the rumors about segregation and all of that is now legal in federal facilities, it is allowed, you know. They were saying they can't wait to Black people, and Friday nights would be epic in their backyards and all of that, right? And a lot of people were like, yeah, those are fear-mongering. Guys, Black men have been missing. Black women have been missing. Black kids have been missing. College students have been unalived. People are brave to come into your congregational spaces, into your churches. They have the law backing them up, and it is protecting them. Whoa. Times keep getting darker and darker and darker. And I think this should not be normalized. This is time for palm-colored people that swore they are on the side of Black people and minorities to come out and call this out. I know that probably even their voices are not going to matter, because this administration, long as you do not align and agree with what they are saying and what they are supporting and what they are trying to protect, then you are an enemy. To be honest, they don't care taking out a few of those of them that don't agree with them. Yeah. The Neanderthal DNA is inherently, I don't want to make assumptions, but it is inherently violent and destructive and evil and dark. And to know that on this planet that we live on, we have beings, human beings that carry that same DNA. And these are the people that are in positions of power. You cannot blame people that would come up with assumptions and be like, you know, maybe this is the Antichrist, maybe they are the children of the devil and all of that. I know we have dark people too. But you know, one thing that keeps shocking me, you know, because they demonize Africa, how there's a lot of religion, how there's a lot of, you know, devil worship, there's a lot of, you know, just barbarism and those weird beliefs. Every day I get shocked at how much cults are in the United States of America. Even the far rights will say, you know, the fellow far rights, they are so weak, so they make a group out of the Now the difference is the cults that they talk about from Africa, none of them really be planning to take people out, but these people be planning to. Guys, these texts were leaked. And let me tell you, if you think it is by coincidence or no, if they get leaked, who were cooked, they know they are not cooked. They know they are always given, a green light. They know it. They know. So my message to the Black community, I know you already know what is happening. I know a lot of you are awake. I am praying for you, but as I pray for you and as I talk to people over here to pray for you as well, I want you guys to watch over each other. You don't know who you are walking with. You don't know what is hidden under that smile. Truck drivers, those of you that work away from home, even if you don't work away from home, those of you that stay in sundown towns, you don't know what is hidden behind those smiles. We have to come to a realization that indeed we are living in dark times and we cannot do anything, and that somehow you do not have the worldly power. You might have the whatevers, you might have all of that, trust me, but there are vulnerable people in our communities too. We have senior citizens, we have children, we have college people, we have a lot of people, we have family that needs to be protected. Please watch out for each other. If you need to walk with someone, do. If you need to let people know where you are at what time, if at all there's any rage, something that you get involved into, report very quick to your family so they know you're not planning to do anything to yourself. And this is not me trying to fearmonger you guys. This shook me to the core. God damn it, I live in Africa. I live here. And every day when I wake up to realize that I don't have to worry about this, I kneel down and I'm like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. And yeah, I want you guys to stay safe out there. Yeah? Stay safe. And those of you that have plans to visit the continent, don't be shoved away by what's going on. I know that there's a lot of there's a lot that be happening, but trust me, visit the continent. And if you have resources, plan to move your family to a safer place. I'm not saying run, no, because a lot of people might be like, we ain't running. No, you're not running. You're not running. You are walking in wisdom. And God has given you that gift. It is okay to use it. Stop listening to people that gaslight you that you are running away. You're not running away. That is still your country. You still have the citizenship of that country. You ain't running away. That is actually having added advantages to you. You have added advantages to you getting out of the US and establishing another empire that just in case something crumbles down there, because it will soon. If an empire is built on the foundations that we are looking at, they lie that it was built on the foundations of Christian nationalism. That's a lie. Those group chats tell us. And trust me, not all of them feel that way. There are those that are shaken to the core, but they also know how dark and evil, inherently evil, most of them can be. I know we can be evil too. We humans, we can. But this, in my opinion, is another level. Why don't you let me know what you think about these chats that were leaked? Don't forget to like, share. Are you shocked? And what is the Black community going to do? What about the activist groups? I'll see you guys later. I love all of you so very much. May you stay safe out there. Watch over each other. God protect you and watch over you and provide and really, really keep you safe. See you guys later. My name is Gracie.